So let's hear it for Kartik.
Okay. So hi, good evening. So just you wondering, what I'm going to talk about, and profile is pretty mixed actually, as the introduction was there, right? So I'm going to couple of minutes. I'll just cover my background, right? Just to tell you, um, the disruptive change, right? If you see the theme of the whole thing. So disruptive change and me, I think we go hand in hand, I guess. Like my life itself has been so disruptive, right from college to what I'm doing now. There's no link, right? I mean, there is a link, but yeah, I have totally different things I've been doing all through my life. So I'll just first take you through my journey, right? Quickly, a couple of minutes I'll just cover that. Then I'll come to the main topic, which is actually about a movie and how it actually changed my perception about a certain thing, a certain aspect of change, right? Connecting to a real world scenario. So I'll come to that, but before that, let me start with my profile. Right? So I studied architecture, so I spent good 5 years studying architecture. It was a great field to be in, a mix of creativity and engineering, and it was a great mix. So I really enjoyed 5 years of learning how to build things. But unfortunately, or I don't know, after 5 years, this happened, right? So, Vastu. So, I had to unlearn a lot of things, and there were too many constraints. So, you couldn't really do all the creative things which you wanted to do as an architect. Because the whole idea of being an architect was, building some fantastic worlds or whatever. So, somehow it didn't gel. I was constrained totally. The real world was very different. Then I thought, okay, 3D animation, visual effects was a new area at that time. Metaphor was a place they just worked on this movie called Dreams at that time, and it was very exciting. So I thought, let me try my hand in 3D animation. Maybe I could build worlds or the 3D world. So I joined Metaphor and then worked on the first 3D animation movie from India. Actually, it's called Pandavas. It even won a national award for best English movie at that amount of time. It's a very low quality product, but from India it was the first product, so it was a proud moment for all of us. Then I moved, worked with other companies, and then worked on some television series for kids actually, preschool. One of the show called Higglytown Heroes. When I was in Bangalore with a company called Jaduworks. So it was one of the first projects which Disney had outsourced to India, first 3D project. So in fact, it has a mention in the Thomas Friedman's book, right? The World is Flat. He talks about this project. So I was one of the key members who worked on this project. And then also worked on a Barbie movie for an entire year. So it's called Barbie Diary. So it's a DVD movie. And then I moved into the gaming industry. So gaming was a huge thing. Console games, a big thing. So Electronic Arts was one of the clients for us. And then worked on games like Harry Potter, Need for Speed. So the great thing about being in this industry was there's no constraint on creativity. You could build whatever you want, right? So we built worlds, entire cities for Need for Speed. And it was a very exciting space to be in. And actually, we got the gaming thing. That's another story altogether. Maybe some other day I can share it. But around 2005, 2006, I mean, it was the peak, the console game thing, and then the iPhone happened and a lot of things got disrupted and things changed considerably. But I won't get into that now. So then also I worked on a lot of live action feature films actually, and one of the guy, I'm sure you would recognize this guy, some of the people in the room. So I made him fly. So in movies, right? He's a Telugu film star called Balakrishna. So he's like Rajnikant, if you know Rajnikant is the Rajnikant of Andhra. Like, there are a lot of memes and jokes about this guy. So I worked on movies with this guy and all the other top stars. So it was great fun, the whole thing. Then in 2007, I moved to Delhi to set up an animation studio for the Premam Consulting Group. And then, unfortunately, 2007 was the year when the recession set in, and things went into a slowdown. We wanted to build a huge studio, but so it took some time. So I had some free time in between. Then I suddenly became a blogger. I was thinking, what can I do in my additionally, to let out my creative urges. Then I started my blog called Mighty Read. So it was in 2009 actually. And then luckily in a very short time, and I thought, because I'm coming from a movies background, I could write about films. That was my interest, and I thought, let me try my luck with movies, and then I started writing. And it coincided luckily with the advent of social media in the world, not just India, everywhere. Because Facebook and Twitter were totally new. Hardly anybody was there. So I found it very fascinating. So I got into those platforms very quickly. And then I tried to promote my stuff, right? Because the whole idea of writing is you want people to read. And then I saw that these are great channels, so let me try my luck. So in a very short time, I was fortunate enough to have a lot of big guys share my stuff, read it, and then somehow I took a natural liking or inclination towards the digital space of it, right? The social media marketing, and unknowingly I got into those areas just because of my blog, with my passion for writing. And then, so social media marketing. At the time, I don't know how many of you know, Planman Consulting Group is also the same group which is run by this man, Arindam Chaudhary of IIPM. So a lot of you know, almost everybody knows him, I guess, right? So I worked in the same group basically. So once my blog kicked off and the social media thing was happening, I used to work very closely with him and his team, purely from the we were doing a Shah Rukh Khan campaign actually at the time for requests. So I was involved in the creative aspect of it, but they were nowhere in social media at that point of time. So every day you open the paper, you would see his paper ad over there. So, but I used to eat his brain and say your actual target audience is all now coming on Facebook, and you need to consider social media, digital platform. And then somehow unknowingly I became a social media guy for this whole IIPM. We've seen some great times and some crazy times actually. I mean, a lot of you know. So this was then, and then digital strategy. That was a larger thing. Social media alone is just one piece of the whole thing. Then I got into the other areas like there's analytics, there's so much, there's a lot of things. So I became unknowingly a digital strategist, and then finally I landed into, sorry, just go back. So I landed into Cognizant, where now currently I joined there as a digital strategist. I mean, that's what my profile said initially. But then I very quickly moved on to the corporate side. I'm right now part of the change management and branding and communications team of Cognizant, where there's a huge focus on change actually happening right now. I mean, Cognizant is a 250,000 people you have, right? And it's a huge workforce which is going through massive disruptive changes, right? The IT industry is going through massive change. And a lot of need for reskilling. At least 100,000 people are planning to reskill in the next 1 year. That's the ask from management. And then me being part of the academy within Cognizant, which is driving most of this change. Right? So that's my current profile. But yeah, but my passion, again, it lies with the movies, right? My whole core DNA, you can say, is movies. Now I'll come to the actual topic, right? So I hope this gives an idea like how change has been there throughout my life. How many of you know Malayalam? I'm sure very few must be there. Okay, so have you heard of this movie, Premam? So what have you heard about? I mean, what can you talk about?
I'm not recollecting completely, but I'm just saying almost everybody who saw the movie could relate it to their old days.
Correct.
It's all small happiness and small sadness, but it actually kicks you as a package at the end of it. You go out a lot satisfied and really living with the movie for that few hours. That's what I thought.
Exactly. So it was a sensation. Actually, in Malayalam, I think it's the highest grossing movie, if I'm not wrong. That's what I've heard. It's a huge. It released in 2015, and it was a massive success. And the lead stars of the movie have become big stars. It's Naveen Pauly and Naveen Pauly. He's a huge star in this. The girl Sai Pallavi, who played the role of a character called Malar. She's like usually immensely popular among the youth. In fact, she's worked in a Telugu movie now, Fida, which is releasing shortly, Shekhar Kamala's movie. So this was a sensation. This movie, like I think it ran for more than 200 days in Chennai. This movie, though it's a Malayalam movie, it ran for 200 days in Tamil Nadu, in Chennai. And I watched it in 2016 thanks to Hotstar. So I watched it online. There were no subtitles, trust me. I just watched it visually. It was so mesmerizing. I was like totally blown away by that movie. I mean, it was like visual poetry, and it was very beautiful acting. This music, everything was fantastic. So pure magic. That's what I would call it. I mean, there's no other word which comes to my mind. It was just magic. I mean, nothing else could explain. You don't even know the language. But then Oh, so let me tell you the story of what this movie is about actually quickly. So it's about this guy, right, George, who it starts when he's a teenager. He's in school basically, and he's after this girl in his neighborhood. I mean, he's infatuated with her. He's trying to woo her, and but finally, I mean, it doesn't work out. I mean, she doesn't even reciprocate, and she doesn't even know that this guy likes her. And then that story ends there. Then he grows up. He goes to college. And then there he meets this professor of his, Mallar is the name of the character, and then it works out. They have a good relationship, and then due to some unfortunate incident, she meets with an accident or whatever. They again separate, and then he's alone again. She gets married to somebody else, and then again he grows up. A few more years down the line, now he's like a entrepreneur. He's got his own business, and then he meets finally the love of his life, and then he settles down with her. That's a happy ending. So that's his story, 3 stages of his life. That's what they covered, and it really resonated very well with everybody who has seen the movie. But there was this jury in Kerala for the awards, right? Kerala State Awards. The jury had decided it's a purposeless movie. There's no logic behind this movie. Why did he make? I mean, there's just guys running after girls. There's nothing in this movie, right? And it raked up a huge controversy. It had a huge fan base, but that guy was like, "What is the purpose? Why make such stuff?" Right? And then, but it's actually a raw and innocent piece. Like you just mentioned, it's such a raw piece. It's like a piece of art, basically, and it connects at a very emotional level with you. So that's the story of Premam, the Malayalam version. Okay, and then sometime last year again, I read this news that they're remaking this in Telugu, which is my native language. It's like, how can they even think of remaking something like this? How is it possible? I mean, like, and the star cast obviously changed. I mean, 2 of the girls from the original are there. The first and the last girl, the middle girl, the most popular one from the original Malayalam movie, the Mallar character, was replaced by Shruti Hassan, who is already a popular actress. People are like outraged. I mean, the incessant trolling and on social media, people would just bash this movie and before it released, prejudging it, saying, "And how can you even do this? I mean, it's not possible." Even I felt the same way. I thought, it's blasphemy. I mean, how can you even think of remaking a movie like Prem? It's crazy. How could anybody do justice, right? And then I'll just show you the trailer of the Telugu version.
ప్రపంచంలో ప్రతి ప్రేమ కథ మధురంగా ఉంటుంది. మనది మనకు మరీ అద్భుతంగా ఉంటుంది. నా ఫీలింగ్స్ ఎక్స్ప్రెషన్స్ అన్ని పేపర్ మీద రాసి తనకి ఇస్తాను.
అవసరం రా ఇదంతా, ఇన్ఫాచ్యువేషన్ రా.
రే, అమ్మాయిని చూసిన వెంటనే అలా కళ్ళు పెద్దవైపోయి, మాట్లాడినప్పుడు హార్ట్ బీట్ పెరిగిపోయి, నవ్వితే బుర్ర బ్లాంక్ అయిపోయి, షేక్ హ్యాండ్ ఇచ్చినవన్నీ చెయ్యంత చల్లగైపోయి, అసలు ఏమి కాని అమ్మాయి కోసం ఒక్క క్షణంలో అన్నీ వదిలేసుకొని ఎందుకు దేక్కుంటూ వెళ్ళిపోతావురా? కొన్ని విషయాలు మన చేతిలో ఉండవు. దీన్ని నమ్ముకొని ఫాలో అవుతూ వెళ్ళిపోవడమే.
That's just to give you a flavor of what this looked like. So when this promo came out, before the release, I was like pretty stunned. I thought the scale had expanded and somehow it looked promising. It was not as bad as we imagined it to be. So then I was like really curious. So I went and watched the movie the first day, and I was really curious to know how these guys would have attempted to remake this. And that's when I say my world turned upside down. Because I love the movie, the Telugu. I don't know any of you seen the Telugu version? Okay, few of you have seen. I don't know, you might have different opinions. So I don't know, did you like the movie? Yeah. Did you watch the Malayalam original? Yes. No, you didn't watch it. So anybody who's watched both the Malayalam as well as the Telugu?
Yeah. I watched Malayalam movie, but I didn't dare to watch that.
See, I know why you didn't dare. Even I was like you. But I dared and I went and watched it, and then that's why I would say upside down. Right? I never believed that the Telugu version also could be. I would say I'll tell you what it is actually. It is better in certain aspects than the original.
Yes.
So I actually looked for some videos where I thought I could just compare both the movies and show some short. But unfortunately, the Telugu version there are not many clips online on YouTube or anywhere. But the Malayalam movie there are plenty of. I mean, the whole movie is there on Hotstar. So, but I found one YouTube video where there are some foreigners actually, some guys from Philippines or Manila. So they do these reaction videos these days on YouTube. I don't know if you've seen the trailer reaction videos, right? They play a movie trailer and then somebody reacts on them. So I found one video where they compared two scenes. So I picked small snippets of it. I just show you a sample of it. Okay? So this they're comparing the Malayalam version. They're looking at the Malayalam version, one of the scenes.
This has become like drama, man.
So there's the hero's introduction in the second phase of his life actually when he falls in love. When he falls in love,
like traditional dress and one go like jeans and
Exactly, yeah.
uniform by.
Look at the slap, man.
Oh, he's running.
And I love how realistic it is.
Oh!
You're funny.
F5.
Look at the mass.
They are not like rowdy.
Yeah, rowdy in college, yeah. Suspended for 2 months.
Only 2 months, man. Ours is 2 years.
That's the Malayalam one. Now I'll play the same short scene how they interpreted it in Telugu, right? Because in Telugu, if you know, I mean, the hero is a guy called Naga Chaitanya, who's a fairly popular actor. He's son of a very popular actor called Nagarjuna in Telugu. So anybody who knows Telugu would know. So the audience is obviously Telugu audience, right? I mean, they know this guy Naga Chaitanya is already a hero, and he's got a legacy also. He's from a big family. So how did these guys, the Telugu director, interpret this scene, right? Because obviously you can't recreate that same kind of ambience. It's not happening in Kerala. I mean, the greenery and all this stuff which you see in that, it's Kerala with the guy in the lungi and all. It's very native to Kerala. But the Telugu version, let's see. I mean, keeping this guy's stardom in place plus interpreting the same scene. Let's see what they've done. This is the Telugu version.
Oh, here we go, they're here.
Oh, they all are him. Yeah, real fight started. It's not in the mud now.
Yeah, it's not
the
in the mud.
building side.
Oh, quick. They love the slow motion, man.
That's looking real.
This is an important scene.
Cycle chain. We're going to beat them with the cycle chain.
How many of you get the connection, the cycle chain connection? Raise your hand. These guys on the screen, they won't know about it, or anybody who's not in the
Suspended for 3 months.
Yeah, suspended for 2 months, man. They should.
The way is done. Same thing at Tripoli.
So, the cycle chain bit which is there, right? It's not there in the original. I mean, it's nothing to. They've introduced it here because this guy, Naga Chaitanya, which is his dad, right? Nagarjuna. There's a very famous movie called Shiva, where first movie of Ram Gopal Verma, where there's a scene where he pulls this cycle chain out, and it's an iconic scene. So every Telugu guy would know it. I think most of them who have seen the Hindi version of Shiva also would know it. It's a huge, and they've very cleverly inserted this localized aspect into this movie, right? This is just one small instance I'm giving you, where they have actually customized. So they didn't just do a copy-paste remake. They didn't say, okay, they've shot it this way, let's do it the same way. This is one small instance I've shown. Similarly, what they've done is the entire movie's screenplay whatever was said to be a purposeless movie earlier, they put a lot of logic into the whole thing. So there was magic in the earlier version, but this one has a lot of logic. There's a reason why whatever this guy does, right, the hero, his actions, his behavior, there is a logic to it. The Malayalam version is very raw, very pure. Things just happen. I won't go into too much detail because you don't have too much time, but that's the simplest way I can say it. There's logic. In fact, the guy you said it's a purposeless movie, right, in Kerala, maybe he's right to some extent. But the Telugu version, I'm telling you, my son is 12 years old. Very soon, I think I'm going to show him this movie someday, so that he has something to learn from this. Because you fall in love, you fall out of it, I mean, but still there should not be any bitterness. You take away something from that, and then you keep on growing as a person. So this movie somehow brings in that added layer and value add to the entire story, which was just a simple story earlier, right? So that really blew my mind. I thought, like, how is this possible? Then the question which came to me was, how did these guys do it? I mean, how can they, even think of it? Isn't art an absolute, like, piece of art? How can we tamper with things, right? How can we have versions of it? Like, I was pretty troubled for a few days. I was thinking, is it really possible? I mean, they guys have done it. I mean, how did they do it? I mean, is it really possible? Does it happen often? So then I thought, okay, let me think of some real world scenarios, right? I mean, like, the basic idea is the concept of originality overrated. I mean, because Malayalam Premam as a original movie, it's like very well revered. That's why, the gentleman didn't dare to watch the Telugu movie because you can't touch it. It's pure. It's original. But I think, is it overrated? Are we giving too much value to that? So the real world parallels, right? Can you think, just what I might be speaking about next, the real world parallels which are in resonance with this theme of change or tampering with originality? Can you think of one example, at least anyone? Sorry? Google Maps? How? Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, correct. Exactly. So think of the most successful company in the world, right? Which is the most successful company? Apple. It was there in the slide which in the earlier presentation, 2016, which was the number one company. No. Apple, right? So the iPhone, when it came out, though they have actually built on an earlier version of which somebody, I think Microsoft had prepared, but iPhone as a piece of technology was like pure. It was pure art. It was an original piece. It changed the world, right? But did he rest with that? Did he say that, okay, I've created the masterpiece, the greatest masterpiece in this world, and that's it, I've done? Did he do that? No. He went on making up to 6+ I could accommodate in the screen. We have a 7+ also, and there's 8 coming out. So they didn't rest. They didn't say, okay, I've created a piece of art, that's it, it's done. It's a constant process of innovation. You can always take away things, add things, keep on improving. That's the change, So Apple is not scared to actually disrupt itself, or innovate. So that's the art of obsolescence, right? They're not scared to make themselves obsolete. Somebody else would also do it. For example, even Android is a copy of the iOS system, right? And then, in fact, when Android came up with some new interesting features, these guys, Apple again copied from there. So it's an ongoing thing. It's a process of evolution, right? It keeps on updating. So there's no absolute this way. So this one more. iOS 10 is going to come out soon. So, but one thing is there. It's not just change for the sake of change, right? Everybody, if they say, okay, I'm going to change. What's the purpose, right? There's no logic, right? There has to be some core DNA which is constant throughout. In terms of Apple's case, it's like the great user experience. Whatever they do, and outcome should be a great user experience, right? So no matter they remove ports, add 2 cameras in the back, add whatever, right? The ultimate end goal objective is the great user experience. As long as the core DNA is retained, they can do whatever changes, upgrade it, keep on improving it, right? Can you think of one more company? One more example. Well, there are many more, but one more popular company which has been doing the same thing repeatedly. Sorry? Gillette. Okay. How did they Gillette? I mean, exactly. Correct. Any more examples?
Amazon.
So all of them are like in their constant race to make themselves obsolete and innovate. That's exactly the disruptive change. You would do it for yourself. There's one more company I'll talk about, which is I'll just show you a sample. Not much to talk about. It's Facebook, right? You see how Facebook used to look when it started. I mean, this was how Facebook used to look when it launched, right? Then let's see how it changed over the years. So if Mark Zuckerberg stopped at this, I mean, like nothing, right? It would have been another Orkut. So then it changed to this. Then it changed to this. So over the years, slowly, you see how it's been changing. It's changed to this. This one. We keep on adding features, and I think right now this is what it looks like. So you see the thing. I mean, they're not afraid to change what is there. Compare this with Twitter, for example. They're pretty afraid to make too many changes, and I think they're struggling quite a bit. It's a very popular medium. A lot of people are there, and I am very active personally on Twitter. I mean, it's given me life. But Facebook is not afraid, and it is also not afraid to copy stuff from others. Snapchat is doing well. They copied all the features and just replicated in Instagram and their core Facebook messaging thing. WhatsApp is doing fantastic. They just purchased WhatsApp. So they're trying to compete. They purchase. So these guys are on the move, disruptive. They always move. Okay, so again, their core DNA is like connecting the world. They just want to keep the world connected. That's common. Whatever they do, finally bottom line is that. Right? So this is important. Then so back to the movie, right? We started with the movie, like gone into the technology. So how does this connect back to the movie? Is there any link? So if you see, the Premam movie is actually about a story about accepting change. So this guy, he has his first girl, and if you see it actually, right? So his first love, right, in the Malayalam movie. So innocent, pure love, and then the second one is a more mature love story in the same movie. Third one is like it's for keeps, right? He marries her, so the purpose has changed. So that's the story of change. It's about this guy's life and how it has changed. Okay, now again, if you come back to the actual movie itself, the original movie and the remake. So let's see. So the first one is magic, right? It's pure, innocent, raw, like the first iPhone. The original Premam is like the first iPhone. And the Telugu version, there's more logic to it, right? I mean, there's more. I think it's just like a second love story, where it's more mature and there are more things added into that. So there's logic. So are we done with this? No. There's a third version. You don't know. There's a Hindi remake which is going to happen, and that could be the third love story, right? I mean, so we can fall in love again with this. I mean, not necessarily that I will say no. It's already been made. The best version is already out. I will not look at the Hindi version. This only when you look at social media, they like outrightly slam this movie without even looking at it. And you have the best example here. I mean, thanks for saying that you didn't dare to watch the movie. So the Hindi movie, last I heard was the same director who made the Malayalam movie is going to make it, is what I heard. And he's put a Facebook post saying that he might not make a scene-by-scene copy. He would reinterpret the same story in a different way. That's what he said it in a post. So I'm really curious to see what's going to happen. Right? So that's the story of it. So coming to me, I mean, what's my core DNA? Right? I mean, change so many profiles, roles. I keep moving, but I keep thinking about myself. Like, what is it that actually drives me? So I think the passion for films is one. So that's why even in a project management talk, right, where it's about all techies and IT folks. Though yeah, even I am part of the IT industry, I keep hearing this agile, DevOps, all this day in day out I work with it. But still, I thought movies is one thing which I need to talk about, right? So movies, and then the pursuit of creative outlets. So be it the blog or be it Twitter, video, I mean anything. So That's one thing. And then I'm not afraid of change basically, of disrupting myself. It's been happening every 2-3 years. I keep finding myself in a new role. So when I meet my old friends, they're like shocked. Okay, what are you doing now? You know, my wife is confused, and she's here actually. So they keep asking, what does your husband do? She's like, okay, it's kind of very tough to answer. So that's my story basically. Right? So that's what I wanted to share. And then that's it. Any questions?
Per se. But I think you have actually disrupted from the project management. What you gave was appearing to be more creative and the way you actually, your body language and all. So it gives us a different, you gave a Steve Jobs types presentation. So I think the question is, what is more relevant or what is more appropriate is something that you copy. For example, most of the Western, they think of doing originality. Like for example, you showed Premam versus Malayalam versus Telugu. So Telugu people have remaked it. Means
Correct.
they already know there's something like this.
Correct.
So when Malayalam was made, it was the original.
Yes.
So somebody, it's a thought process of somebody
Correct.
who wants to make it happen. It's about engineering. Now this guy Premam actually rather copied it, but he added his own masala,
Yes.
like the cycle chain and all. Now, in real life world, okay, right now we don't relate to project management, but what is the essence that we as people, our audience, our society take? So when I copy a thing, I first ask, for example, if you are creative and if I want to emulate you, should I ask you, can I take some of it and then it's humanly, or I'm accepting you, right? In one of the principle of project management or agile is accept, right? Accept people, reject stress.
Right.
So is it that copying a good thing, or is it copying something which is, you are killing your own innovation? For example, Premam, instead of that Premam, something else would have come, right? So what exactly is, in your opinion, the copying is a good thing, or we shouldn't do it? We should be always originally innovative.
So that's what I said. Originality is overrated. That's what I said in my presentation, right? Because if you look at it, which is the most popular email software you use right now? Gmail. What brought us the earlier one? All of us would have had that account. What is it? Hotmail. Hotmail. Even I have one. I never use it. What did Gmail do? They just copied and just improved instead of the. I think Hotmail was giving 2 MB space. I remember this guy gave 1 GB all of a sudden. It's a massive disruption, but he's copied it. The core ideas from there. A lot of great ideas, if you see, are actually. Let's go back to this scene, the cycle chain scene, right? What this guy has done is, he's taken some part of Premam, he's added another layer of context, and created a new product. So let's look at some more examples. So Twitter, for example, what is Twitter? Twitter is nothing but an SMS service mixed with internet. So internet and SMS together, it's become Twitter. So when it started, that's what it was. So most ideas, creative ideas, they come through mixing two things. Two creative ideas or multiple creative ideas. So even Steve Jobs, for example, when he came up with all the fonts we use on our systems, right? Windows, whatever, all the fonts. Started because this guy took a calligraphy class in college. Steve Jobs, when he was in college. So he learned the art of calligraphy. So that was there in his mind. He mixed it with whatever technology. This is the blend. I think it's always that works. So what Facebook does also is very cleverly, it keeps picking things from multiple sources, mixing them. But like I said, the core DNA, that should be constant. You can't just keep changing overnight. Every day you can't keep looking like a new company. And coming to copying, I'll show you. There's one more slide actually in the appendix. Good question you asked. Especially, you said the Hollywood guys don't copy is what you said, right? So, but I'll just show you one. Just look at this.
There was a recent, somewhere on news I have read, Sylvester Stallone has made one movie, I think. Somebody from Bollywood, Hindi movie, they're trying to remake it. So that guy made a comment. So,
I read that.
Yeah.
Rambo.
So when he, first as I took a backstep and said, why the hell we should copy this guy? I mean, first
Can I
of all,
tell you something?
Yeah. First of all, he used the word reckel. You know that, right? Now,
So you should ask him to look at the 6 Rambos he has made. I mean, there's 6, I think, right? He is copying himself. He himself is doing it. He's made one Rambo, he didn't stop with that, right? Look at your Transformers series, it's a pathetic mess actually. They keep on producing movies. Hollywood is worse than us actually, if you ask me. They make sequels of the same thing again and again. So this thing I want to show you, right? I had it in appendix. So this is a movie called Seven Samurai. Have you seen this? It's a all-time classic by Akira Kurosawa. So that guy is a genius. So this movie, can you guess? I mean, it's a story about 7 bandits actually who are hired by a village to save them from some invaders who come and loot them. So these 7 guys are hired and they protect the village. So can you think of other movies which?
Magnificent Seven. Magnificent Seven, no?
Yeah, China Gate. So I put some of. So Magnificent Seven is one of the. Again, it's a classic movie, but it's based on 7 Samurai. Then there is a Dirty Dozen. Then there is a Sholay, which is like the all-time blockbuster of Indian movie. It's nothing but it's based on 7 Samurai. So Bug Slave, cartoon movie from Pixar. Even that is nothing but just the adaptation of 7 Samurai. So, like I said, originality is, it's there. I mean, we'll always hold it in reverence. 7 Samurai, it's a great piece of art. We'll always hold it in reverence. We'll always call it as a path-breaking movie. Same with the first iPhone. It's always the first iPhone. Nobody can replace it. What comes next? Anything can happen, right? I mean, you can't. It's not sacrosanct. It keeps changing. And all of them are well-revered movies. All of these. Sholay, though, it's such a huge blockbuster. So, and our Bahubali, right? Rajamouli's movie. If you see, I mean, see the amount of inspiration he takes from multiple sources, right from Pachitra Kathas to other movies to whatnot. So most of the success, even Steve Jobs himself said that, right? Great artist steal. Right? Correct. That's a good. For example, Steven Spielberg's E.T. Correct. So even your Koi Mil Gaya when it came out, right? Hrithik Roshan's movie, it was a copy of E.T. But you know what? E.T. is a copy of a Satyajit Ray story. I forgot the name of the story, but it's a story which Satyajit Ray wrote, in which he was working with some of the Hollywood producers to turn it into a movie. But I didn't materialize, but the script was there. And this guy acknowledged it. He got the core concept of E.T. from Satyajit Ray's short movie script. Sorry?
That is, movie name is Bonku Babur Bondhu.
Okay.
Thanks for
Great. So that's what. So it's always, creativity or originality. I mean, it's a subjective matter. Let's keep on. Any more questions? I'm done.